Welcome to Burn the Ship. This is the podcast where we connect entrepreneurs with professionals that can help you go all in on your business. We talk to people that have walked the walk, talked the talk, been through all the things that we experience as small business owners, come out the other side with more expertise and more knowledge, more skills that we help bottle up and teach to you guys so that you guys can help run a more successful business. So, thank you, Kent. I appreciate you being here. First of all, I wanted to say that anybody that takes the time to be with me and teach the audience and myself some stuff, it means a lot to us. So I appreciate that very much. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome, Bailey. Thank you for having me on today. So my name is Kent Schrum. I own St. Louis Foundation Repairs here in St. Louis, Missouri. But primarily, I wanted to talk today about the company that I own, Local Growth Experts 360. And I own this company with my three sons. Started 20 some odd, 30, I guess close to 30 years ago now in the construction industry. Um, Pretty much always knew I was going to be in some type of construction. Started getting involved in it in my teens, and um, had my first construction company whenever I was in my early 20s. I basically worked two jobs to put myself in business. I waited tables at night. I worked construction for another guy from 6 a.m. in the morning till 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'd get off there, come home, shower, and head to the restaurant and work till about 11 or 12 o'clock at night and get back up 5 o'clock the next morning and do it all over again. Did that for about 6 or 7 months and was able to save up enough money to start buying, just simple stuff, framing guns and ladders and air compressors. And that's how I put myself originally in the construction business, is by working two jobs. My wife at that time, she also worked at the restaurant to help bring in an income for our family. And um, knew from an early age that I did not want to work for somebody else. I knew that I wanted to work for myself. Fast forward a few years later, where I'm doing framing and siding, and um, decided to buy my first set of concrete forms. This was in the late 90s. Bought a set of forms from a contractor and started working those forms and realized that, it is hard work. Not sure if I want to sling 85-pound form panels the rest of my life. So decided to get out of the foundation business, sold that business in 2003 and started a remodeling company. Primarily, we focused on basements, finishing basements out, because that's kind of where my expertise lied, was below ground. So we did a lot of basement finishes. We did room additions and decks and things like that too, but we primarily wanted to focus on basements just because we, the weather wasn't dictating when we could work. So we tried to focus on interior work. A lot of the times we would I'd go bid a basement and discover, hey, there's some foundation cracks here. There's some possible foundation issues. But the last thing I wanted to do is have the homeowner spend 60, 70, $80,000 on finishing a basement and then discover 6 months to a year later they got some real foundation issues. They're gonna have to tear that basement up. So I felt it was my responsibility and my job to make sure that we're actually finishing a basement that qualifies for being finished. Um, but a lot of times those foundation repairs were almost as much as my remodel jobs. So a lot of times I was giving business away. I wasn't being able. The homeowners couldn't afford to do the basement finish after they spent $30,000-$40,000 in foundation fixes, and so we decided to scale our business to doing foundation repairs. I knew the business. We actually did a lot of the repairs ourselves, even when we were doing the basement finishing. Um, but through those times, 2010, I started doing some of my own marketing for our business. And just because I was tired of trying to hire people that didn't understand my business, they didn't understand our clients. Um, so we started doing a little bit of our own marketing. And, fast forward to the late teens, 2017, 2018, we started really focusing on nothing but foundation repairs. We spent tens of thousands of dollars on marketing companies and so-called SEO gurus and experts. And just to no avail. The return on the investment just was not there. Um, so I decided to start spending my money and learning SEO, learning how customers find my business, and started focusing on that. We developed a very strategic um, way to get our business on the first page of Google. So we were able to start getting some return on our own investment. We created Local Growth Experts 360. My sons and I were like, hey, why don't we start doing this for other contractors? And we got our own business to the page one, first page of Google for the keywords we want to rank for. Now let's help other contractors get their businesses to the first page of Google. And it's SEO. As soon as you mention SEO to a lot of, especially contractors, it's almost like stepping into a room of friends and saying, "Hey, I belong to this new multi-level marketing group in our company." People just scatter.
Mm-hmm.
So contractors, I'd say a lot of them, just like myself, they've been burned in the past, and that's why the SEO business doesn't have a great reputation right now, because there are so many people out there that they either don't know what they're doing or they do know what they're doing, and they are not going to work with most SEO guys will work with two or three, four different companies that are in the same niche in the same city at the same time. I don't find that ethical. We work with one contractor in one niche in one city, and we focus typically on one or two keywords and get them ranked to and typically those keywords are going to be the something that gets them the most bang for their buck, uh, their highest ticket items. So we'll focus on that. That's kind of what brought us here and how Local Growth Experts 360 was born.
What was that experience like of learning the SEO side of your business and the marketing side of your business? Like, did it? Were you were still in the foundation repair and construction world as you were learning that stuff and being able to kind of implement that into your own business? I'm assuming.
Yes, absolutely. It was hectic. It was I was determined to learn the SEO. I spent again thousands more dollars buying courses and trying to learn from people, and sometimes you buy a course you pay several $1,000s for, and you realize I knew all this stuff already. They're not giving me any more information than what I already knew before I bought the course. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? I mean,
Right.
you've got to take some risk out there if you want to do what you want to do and do it better. And I was determined to learn SEO and to figure out, at least to be able to understand that if I was to hire another SEO person, I would at least understand what they're talking to me about. I mean, how many of us go to the doctor today, or go to an attorney or some other professional, and they start talking to us about what they're going to do for us, and we have no clue as to what they're saying? They might as well be speaking Latin. And I didn't want to do that again. If I was going to hire an SEO person, I wanted to be able to um, understand what they were saying, and understand what they were going to implement for my company and help me get leads. I mean, that's what it's all about, is getting leads. If a business doesn't get leads, they don't survive.
Right.
Uh, so I spent hours, and a lot of times I'd sit in front of the TV at night once I came home and showered and got ready to wind down and ate supper. I was spending another 2 or 3 hours at night till 10, 11 o'clock at night watching stuff, learning stuff, building test sites, and seeing how fast it would take me to get those sites ranked to the first page of Google. And I realized something. Google likes things a certain way. They like order. They love themselves. And um, if you can figure that out on how to position everything when you're trying to rank a website, um, Google's going to reward you for it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And so it kind of seems like your superpower has both been kind of that adaptability, right? Is really putting putting what the customer needs first and figuring out how to provide those solutions, as well as having that construction background and implementing that same solution for other people that are similar in those verticals, right? It seems like the combination of those two things of understanding the needs of your industry and then understanding the needs of your customer has always been kind of what's helped you be successful. Would you, like, if I asked you, hey, what was your superpower kind of been, what's helped you guys grow, what's the thing that you did well, would you agree, or would you think it was something else?
Yeah, I would say it is the ability not only to understand what our customer needs, but also understand what, and when I say customer, I'm talking about our SEO customers, understand what they need, but also understand their customers.
Right.
Because we're in the business, we're in the contracting business. That's why we focus primarily on people that are in the service industry. And when I say service industry, I mean, guys that are in the power washing business, plumbers, electricians, siding installers, guys that want to do room additions or remodel, any type of remodeling work. Because we've been in the business, we feel that we can understand our customers better and understand their customers and how their customers are trying to reach them.
Sure. No, it makes a lot of sense, and it's so difficult anyway. I mean, you think about all the competition that are in a lot of these areas as well, and the things that they're doing, to give themselves a competitive advantage over the people that are doing the similar things in their area, right? And it really pays off to have someone that both understands the needs of your business and then the needs of your customer and positions those in a way that makes your business, like, I'm sure that you've had conversations with people that you're doing business with that are not just SEO related, that are very relevant to the success of their business because you kind of know it frontwards and backwards, right? So I mean, there's plenty of value to be brought by someone that just has enough experience in your particular discipline to tell you, here's what works for me and here's what didn't. Here's firsthand experience of what works and what sucks, right? But what have been some of the obstacles that you've had to kind of overcome along the way? I mean, I can imagine that doing all of that learning and spending all of that time ingesting that information, I mean, a lot of people would probably lead to some burnout and some fatigue, right? But what are other discipline, or excuse me, what are other obstacles that you've had to kind of overcome along the way with over this 30-year journey of everything kind of taking its own shape?
Well, just not just to mention the time that it takes to learn the SEO industry and to understand it, but also still being able to provide for my family. I got 7 kids. I've been married for 35 years. We got 16 grandkids now. They're not obstacles, but it was definitely hard to try to divide my time among my family
Sure.
and still try to provide a living for them and um, learn new things. And so those were some obstacles that I faced. And then whenever we started approaching people and other contractors about what we could do for them, um, I'm just a dumb contractor, right? What do you know about SEO? So I think that had a lot of people thought that you're because contractors, most contractors that have been in business for a while, they're usually good at their contracting business. But
Sure.
most contractors, and a lot of guys will admit it, they're not very good at much of anything else. They're not good accountants. I mean, I can remember a day when my filing system was a shoebox in the back seat of my truck. So,
Hmm.
and I'm sure that's a lot of contractors can relate to that. So, getting the contractors to trust me with their business because that's basically what I'm asking. I'm asking them to trust me with their business and
Right.
to get them leads. And leads are the lifeblood of any type of service related industry. If you can't get those leads, um, you're going to die a slow death. Your business is going to die a slow death. Um, you can get referrals, but referrals can dry up at any time.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of customers that say, "Well, we get all of our business from our referrals from word of mouth." That's great. I mean, word of mouth is probably 50 to 75% stronger than just a regular lead that's where somebody just calls you up off of Google. Um, you're 50% more likely to sell that referral than you are a brand new customer that's never heard of you before.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, if people have questions about SEO, about your business in general, and they want to buy something from you, they want to pick your brain, how do they find you?
Well, they can go to our website at localgrowthexperts360.com. They can even give us a call at 314-520 or 314-210. Actually, it's the phone number. I'm giving you my personal numbers there. It's 314-742-8987 is Local Growth Experts phone number. And the other thing we're getting ready to launch is coming up in the next probably 30 to 90 days. We're actually going to launch a university where we actually have put together and are putting together some training sessions to help contractors understand SEO. And if they want to try to do it themselves, they can do it themselves. And that new website is pageoneuniversity.com. So, and most contractors, I've even sent out some things, and contractors call me back and say, "Hey, I took a look at that. What I should do from SEO. I don't think I'm going to tackle that right now. I think I'd rather just have you do it instead of have me. I might mess something up." So SEO can get pretty technical if you don't keep track of what Google's doing out there. Google changes regularly, um, and you need to be able to stay focused on your business and what you do good and you do well, and let somebody else focus on your SEO and get your leads.
Yeah, I agree. I think they say the best thing to do in business is do the thing that makes you the most money as often as you can, right? Do the thing that's generating you revenue as much as you possibly can is the number one way to be successful, right? So I can agree with that, and outsourcing and finding people to solve problems for you in your business is definitely the way to go. You simply can't learn everything there is to know about every product that your business relies on to be successful. It's just not feasible, and it doesn't make sense to do it in general. So I appreciate you coming. I just have one more question for you, right? And I would love to know this answer from the perspective of all the people that you've worked with on SEO, from your own perspective in local growth experts and the construction world in general. But I think a lot of the people that we're talking to right now on the podcast are, either in that first year, first 6 months of business, or they are, the people that are perpetually 6 months away from getting into something because it's really hard to figure out the things you need to do to get something off the ground really early. So, from your experience, right, what is it like to, flip that light switch and go all in on a business? To decide that I'm going all in on this thing and I want to make it work for me and I'm going to do what it takes to make it get there. And why should other people seek out that same experience?
I think for me, it was early on in my career. Um, I approached business a lot differently, and it was probably because I was young and I wasn't as seasoned. But every business, no matter what it is, I don't care if you're selling widgets or if your business is producing any type of product or you're going to homeowner's house, you're really actually first, you're a sales company first.
100%.
And then your whatever service you're providing, you're that next. And you have to be able to understand that if you don't sell a customer, you don't have a job and you don't have a business. And that brings up even another interesting thing. You know, you have to think sometimes people that are in business for themselves, they don't understand that they really don't have a business. They have a job that they've just created for themselves. A real business, you have created value in it. A business that you own, you should be able to sell. If you don't have something, if you're working for yourself and you don't have something that you can sell later or pass on to your children, you really don't have a business. You have a job. And having a business is it's a lot more fun. Once you realize, hey, I'm building a business, something that has value, and I can actually sell that business, then it becomes more exciting to build that business. But if you just work every week and you just have a job and you think you have a business, but at the end of the year, you don't really have, if you decide, if something happened and you needed to get out of that job, could you sell it to make money? Could you pass it on to your kids or pass it on to your employees? And I think that light bulb moment for me was realizing that I need to build a business, not build.
Sure. No, it makes a lot of sense. So, well, I appreciate you coming, Kent. If you have anything else that you want to leave, the people with, please, the platform is yours. But we'll get on to editing this over a couple of days, and we'll put it out there to the world. And you're more than welcome to any of the stuff that we've created from a production standpoint. But I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your perspective and your experience. It's not very standard that you find someone with the level of experience of the people that you're working with as customers on the local growth expert side, and a person that is that technical and devoted to continuing to learn about SEO in general. It's a pretty rare thing, so I don't want you to take that lightly. I want to commend you as much as I can. That it's a really cool thing, and it's a big value to a lot of people that are interested in trying to understand how to get high ranked on Google in the service industry. I know that is a fight that a lot of our merchants fight, and a lot of people that I'm connected to. So I hope to find some people in my network to connect you with. But I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate your time.
Yep. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, anytime. All right, burn the ship. See you guys again soon.